From the Woodshed, a casual conversation with Chase Morrill and Ryan Eldridge of Kennebec Cabin Company, the team that inspired the hit show Maine Cabin Masters. From the Woodshed is brought to you by Nelma. See the stamp? Trust the quality. By Hammond Lumber, your building project partner. By Kennebec Savings Bank, helping our local community save, thrive, and grow for over 150 years. And by Hero Media Network, connecting small business with new customers. Now, from the Woodshed Studios in Manchester, Maine, it's Chase and Ryan.
From the Woodshed, I'm Chase Morrill. With me, as always, Ryan Eldridge.
Hi, guys.
And today we have Jen filling in for Maggie.
Hi, guys.
Today's guest is Molly Shaw, the marketing manager from Saddleback Mountain. You can find us at KennebecCabinCompany.com, MaineCabinMasters.com, our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube channel, and check out our online store at shop.KennebecCabinCompany.com. And this wouldn't be possible without our sponsors, Nelma, Northeast Lumber Manufacturing Association, Hero Media Network, connecting small business with new customers, Hammond Lumber Company, the official building materials supplier of Kennebec Cabin Company, and Kennebec Savings Bank, helping our local community save, thrive, and grow for over 150 years.
How's it going, Jed?
It's good. Did your microphone ever get in the way of you seeing that?
I just
memorized it.
Or do you look to the side?
I don't have it memorized.
Oh.
We got in trouble for reading stuff all day today.
Gosh, we're doing more clip shows today, and there's a lot of reading and repeating and.
What's a clip show? Tell everybody what you're talking about.
10 best lakeside cabins.
Yeah.
The 10 best kitchen remodels.
So they kind of put it together. They make a script up, and we sit there, and they have.
It's interesting. It's a good way to see like footage that wasn't used and like stuff that was cut and deleted scenes.
Yeah.
But it's more like real TV, like teleprompter and like it's just weird.
No, there's no teleprompter. It's a laptop propped up on a cardboard box on a chair to try and get it at our eye line.
Ghetto prompter. But then like, well, you can't look at the camera and you got to look to the side and then you try to like remember your lines. Like we're not actors and it's not more apparent than it was today.
Yeah. But we've had a lot of practice talking, so we should be very easy to...
Your vocal cords are all warmed up?
Yeah.
Are you going to sing a song?
Give us a tongue twister. We'll spit it right out at you, no problem.
Speak for yourself. Man, what a day. It's warm out.
Yeah.
I think I saw a negative 15 this week, and what was it, 55? It's a 70-degree stretch.
Yeah.
Welcome to mud season.
Welcome to mud season.
But the worst thing is, like you think, oh, winter's over, but no.
No, not
another
even.
week, and it goes back and forth, up and down.
Not even close. We could still get a few major storms. I mean, more than a few. I
read the weather patterns for March are going to get a little interesting, which is good.
Yeah, we like interesting.
Interesting in what way?
Like this, like the high pressure right now, the way the currents are, like it's dry. March we're gonna get like 3 or 4 major ones. A couple nor'easters, inside runners.
Sweet.
Alberta Clippers.
Ashley thought I was speaking foreign language when I was saying that. I'm like, you don't know all that stuff?
I was listening to the weather on WBLM, and they're like, oh, we've got an Alberta Clipper coming through. I'm like, I hope Ashley's listening right now.
Some people just aren't weather people.
Yeah.
You're not much of a weather person, though.
No.
Because I'll be like, oh, it's going to rain tomorrow. What do you want to do with the crew? And she's like, oh, what? It's going
to rain?
But you don't watch the news in the morning?
Nope.
See, that's my problem. I watch the news. And then, like, they only write, like, half the time. God love them. Are you a news person?
I used to be, and then I stopped watching the news when COVID hit, actually, because it was just, like, affecting my soul. My mental health was at stake, so I no longer watch the news. But I do have like 3 weather apps on my phone that I check and my watch, and yeah.
I mean, really all I care about is how much snow we're going to get.
Right.
When I have to plow, how often do I have to plow?
And then half the time it's all over the place.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, that hour in the morning is like my time, but sometimes like I could do something else besides like have a couple cups of coffee, watch the news, read on my phone. Like
I've been learning Spanish when I drink my coffee.
That's good.
Start watching news in Spanish.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
After a year.
I'm always like, I'm going to get up and start walking the dogs. And like, no, 10 below, 12 below. They won't even go outside.
No. No, not at all.
I'll just take the nice cup of coffee and watch the news for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird the film crew's back this time of year.
It is. To be starting camps right now is not normal. And it was cold.
Oh, it was brutal. The whole time I knew Chase was thinking, like, why the hell did I do this? Why the hell? But the reason we did is because we were kind of, we had some projects lined up, working, doing some side stuff, and then things got askewed, and we looked at a couple other projects, and they're like, actually ones we could do now, because you can't start a cabin in Maine, because you start with the foundation. But both of these projects didn't have that problem.
But if we had gone out looking for projects, we could start. We wouldn't have found it.
Never would have found it. We've never found anything like this.
But it's like because we weren't looking, they just kind of presented themselves, and we're like, well, take advantage of the opportunity. So here we are.
Yeah, when they're like, when you don't camp back, 8, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, and they're like, May 1st. Like, it's weird. It'll be interesting, because normally we start these camps, and like, we were talking today about Camp PMS. When we canoed in, it was like 95 and 100% humidity, and when we gave it back, it was like 20 below.
Yeah.
Like that weather swing.
Yep.
But we'll be going with the weather this time. So.
Yeah, and it does. It makes for an interesting episode when you start out doing the arrival in the snow and cold.
Normally we have to paint first.
Yep.
And then worry about it. Now we're just like, we'll paint right the last day. Nothing to worry about. And then, of course, this will be the spring that goes on. The winter that goes on forever.
Right. But that's all right. We'll roll with it.
I really do think part of weather in Maine was what makes the show, because the worse the weather is, or the crazier it is, the more we struggle, the better TV is.
Yeah.
Like in Florida, I mean, it's going to rain at 3 today for 5 minutes.
Right.
That's exciting as it gets. Maybe once in a while a hurricane, but
just once in a while.
But you know what I'm saying.
No, absolutely.
What's that famous saying? If you don't like the weather in Maine, wait 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think they say that everywhere.
I would say I feel like everywhere says that.
I don't know if
maybe northern.
I don't think Arizona says that, right?
Nah, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I have heard it some places, but I think Maine can attest to that.
Yeah. But, yeah, Maggie is ski racing today. She's they're in the States right now.
They're at Saddleback, right?
They're at Saddleback.
Maybe Molly can give us a live update.
That's right. An inside tip for her. Be like, hug it tight on turn 5.
Get him good with the groomers. Like, I got right there.
Man, did you notice we went skiing last week, and we must have been on the trail that they race on, because there was a couple times I hit those big divots that the racers make. They hadn't gotten it with the groomer. I almost ate it hard.
So what's the strategy? Do you want to go first, last, or in the middle? Close to the first, I would think.
Close to the first.
But not first. Get a couple tracks to follow, and then...
You say, is it good to have the track? Does it help you?
It doesn't,
No.
I don't think. Because they're constantly slipping it to try and knock some of those down. But
I bet there's a fine line. They probably done the research. If you're the 7th to 8th person during a certain type of snow, it's perfect. But after that, it starts to get mealy and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and they'll actually salt the courses too to make them icier. If it's not icy, have you ever seen them do that?
No, I think I have.
Yeah.
No, never.
After a big storm, they'll go out and I don't know if it's actually salt that they use, but they put something that ices the courses up.
I have seen out west, they'll we're having a competition day, so they'll give you a free pass. You come in and pack down the jumps and stuff. Interesting.
Huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's up there. Well, they're both Nori and Maggie are up there. Mimi Peggy's up there. They're all staying at the Buccanet.
Nice.
Yeah, so they're...
Bring some medals
Where's
back
Fletcher?
to the Buccanet. Funny you ask.
Fletcher's holding down the fort at Mimi Peggy's.
Oh, yeah.
Fletcher might have not got picked up today. You had a busy day.
Yeah, back in the saddle.
You can't do it all.
That's right. He made it home.
You're without a truck. You got your daughter's car.
Yep. Filming, podcast.
The ski team has your van.
Yeah.
It's not your fault.
Every once in a while, a kid falls through the cracks. All right?
Hey, thank God it's him. He's tough. So.
Yeah. Well, I'll never forget one time, I think Nori was in kindergarten, and she got dropped off at my parents' place, and nobody was home. And, she just hung out.
The bus was gone.
The bus was long gone. So she hung out, and somehow she had the know-all to call me. She left a voice message. She's like, hey, it's Nori. I'm at me and Pappy's. Nobody's here right now, so I'll just hang out for a little while. Maybe I'll go for a walk. And I mean, she was little, so But she knew what to do, of course.
Funny how each of the kids would respond in that situation.
Oh, yeah. Maggie would have flipped out. I can say that because she's not here.
All right, well, on that note, let's check out this nice video by Benjamin Morrill on the break, and we'll get right back to you with Molly Shaw from Saddleback Mountain.
And we are back with Molly Shaw, the marketing manager for Saddleback Mountain. Hey, Molly, how are you?
Doing great. How are you guys today?
We're doing well. Nice to see ya.
Yeah.
So
Got to take a few runs with Ryan the other day. That was fun.
That was fun. We're going to take a lot more, too. So now you get to have a virtual water, coffee, or beer with us. We always start this guest segment out. Normally people are with us, but right now we're doing it virtually. So what are you going to have?
I have a seltzer water. You can't see it, actually, 'cause my background.
Oh, that's
is in your
cool.
thing.
I don't know if I can do that to
Like,
Chase.
Woo! Woo!
Chase and I are going through our little stash back here. Some of it's been here for a while, but anything you like?
I'll grab that cushion off right there.
A nice local Kushnot, great place. The Krish Kolsch.
Thank you.
Something like that.
Something like that.
I'm going to bring out my tough side and go with a warm, truly wild berry today. Jen's over there.
Jen, you want
Turn her
anything?
nose up.
I'm good. Thanks.
Oh, come on. You good?
Tempting. I have water.
See, look, I'll pour that right in here. Nice Woodshed glass.
So my daughter was up today racing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We had the Class B state champs here.
Yeah.
So the mountain has been alive with a lot of activity today.
A lot of high schoolers.
Yes.
Nice.
And it continues into the day tomorrow. So, yep, 2 days. How did she do? Did she have
Good.
a good?
Yeah, I think, I
race?
looked at her timing. She was middle of the pack. I don't know how Miranda Cook did overall, but yeah, it was GS today and tomorrow's slalom. So, yeah, it's exciting.
It's been pretty neat to watch Chase lately, though, because he's on his phone. I'm like, because Chase isn't really a phone guy, Like, he's just not. He uses his phone for business, but he's not like he doesn't on the World Wide Web and all that crap. And like, what are you doing? He's like checking update and checking stats update and looking for like up to date racing.
Yeah.
I think, man, when we were kids, you'd have to look at the local paper like 5 days later, and then the print was like that big. Like, technology is pretty awesome.
Livetiming.com.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you watched it online,
Yeah.
you can stream it, right? Yeah, pretty cool.
I went to a race at Kent Hill this year. It was so pretty cool to see him. Like, they take it serious. Like, to see my niece Maggie, like how she's grown, and I mean, I can't keep up with her anymore.
No.
And like, see her competitive side come out, and you tell us how she's into waxing now. Like, pretty neat.
It is.
Kids love it.
Yeah.
I bet it's fast today.
Speaking of cool live technology, we have functional webcams on the Saddleback website now.
Nice.
Yeah. If you go from our top navigation, there's a drop down by where the little temperature icon is, and there's a link for webcams. And there's one down at the base area. There's one at the top of the Rangeley Quad, and there's one where we call the top of the world, or the top of the Kennebec. And what's really cool about these, the feature I just learned the other day, is you can actually, there's little icons in the lower menu bar for, there's little sun icons, and you can click on either of those, and it will replay the last sunrise or sunset in the last 24 hours. So
Nice.
You don't have to be an early bird. You can go watch the sunrise from any time. Yeah, I was mind blown. I was like, that's so cool. So yeah, definitely something to check out on our website.
Nice.
So how's everything going this season?
It's been going great, and I was just thinking the other day, like, it's flying by already. Like,
It really is.
We've had, luckily Mother Nature's been kind to us. We've had over 100 inches of snow to date, and more hopefully on the way. We did have a little rain event today, but it's just been drizzle, so fortunately it's not, causing too much damage. But our man-made trails and natural trails are holding up great. So we're definitely heading into what's going to be a great, second half of the season skiing and riding. We're coming into some of the best days of the year. You can't beat a nice day on the deck in March, hanging out, getting that goggle tan.
So you can actually feel the sun.
Yeah.
I've already got 4 days in this year. The last couple of years, I had a rough go of it. This year, I'm getting back. I missed the days of having like 100+ days, and now I'm like 4, bragging about it. But we've had a lot of good fun up there already. It's changed
you gotta get
so
up here
much.
more.
For people that aren't familiar with you guys, you guys opened up last year in the pandemic, and what you guys have done is pretty amazing. And you guys are still constantly got all kinds of new stuff in store. Can you kind of tell us what else you guys got going on?
Yeah, so last season was our first season back in operation. We had been closed for 5 years, but we've done a ton of improvements to the mountain. Somewhere in the range of over $30 million has been invested. So, last season it was our Rangeley high-speed quad, which takes you up to not the top, but about midway up the mountain in under 5 minutes. And then this summer we installed a new T-bar. We have a moving carpet down at the beginner area. We're working on getting our rope tow up and running, so that will allow people to get up to the terrain park easier. It's just lots of improvements, major lodge improvements as well. Our lodge is fully renovated, it's a beautiful space. And just excited to be back. And, I grew up skiing here myself, so just excited to be able to get out and enjoy these trails and all the terrain that we have. If you're not familiar with Saddleback, we're the 3rd largest in Maine. We have over 600 acres of terrain, advanced terrain from the Kennebec steeps, where we have our Casablanca glades, which are hand-cut glade terrain that is, some of the best in the East. Maybe I'm a little biased. Maybe
No,
Ryan's
you're right.
a little biased,
You're right.
but it's definitely some of the best in the East. We also have awesome beginner area, our South Branch area that spans the lower half of the mountain. So we're definitely the big mountain. We're definitely up there with some of the bigger players. But you'll definitely find that the experience will be, friendly. I've only waited in maybe a 10-minute lift line all season. We're just not very crowded. So it's a great experience. If you haven't been here, definitely encourage you to make the trip up to Rangeley. Rangeley is just a beautiful place in itself, and then you got Saddleback in the backyard here, which really the icing on the cake.
We can second, third, and fourth that all.
Yeah, for sure.
We actually lost Dixie to Rangeley. He's up there all the time. He loves it up there. To can't say I've
Yeah, he's sort of my neighbor, actually.
Yeah. He's a good person to have in your neighborhood.
That's right. If you need a toe strap anytime.
Yeah, when we've gone up, it's been a great little bit of tiny lines, but everyone's nice and just get a lot of skiing and a lot of value for your money. And that new lift just changes everything. Yeah. Spreads people out, and it's just a whole new ball game.
Now, at the top of the main lift to the right side, as you're getting off the lift, I noticed some construction in there. Is that where the new upper lodge is going to be, or do you know what's going on up there?
Yes. So if you're looking at our trail map, there's a little intersection of woods between Hudson Highway and the Jitterbug crossover trail.
Yeah.
So if you're getting off the Rangeley lift and you're kind of looking at the woods to your right, we are building a mid-mountain lodge. So we'll have a on-mountain food and beverage experience, and it's a really cool project, very unique because we've worked with Maine Audubon and a bunch of different environmental organizations to make sure that, when you're developing in that type of sensitive environment at that elevation, that we're not, presenting harmful impacts to any of the, particularly birds, actually. There's a lot of native birds and some endangered species that live in that part of the elevation of the mountain.
You guys had some
it will be... sorry.
You guys got some pretty interesting birds, right? You can feed them. Don't you have the gray jays?
Yeah. Gray jays.
Yeah, you can actually feed them up there.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you put out your hand, they'll come right up. Yeah, so the Mid-Mountain Lodge, it's about 2,600 square feet. fully like glass panes. It's like a triangular footprint, and it will look out over the beautiful views that we have here of Rangeley Lakes and the Western Maine Mountains. And it will be open to the public for, to stop in. You can have a beer, a snack, enjoy the view. And then in the summer, we're hoping to be able to use it for events and weddings. Construction has been delayed. We started clearing the site, but feasibly during mid-season in the middle of winter, we're not actively building right now. But as soon as spring comes, we'll be back on that project, and we're looking hopefully to complete that by next fall. So it'll be the place to be next season. So yeah, a lot of investment, a lot of projects going on here. Just expanding on what people know about Saddleback, which is a friendly place, great terrain, and now we're kind of taking things to the next level. So it's exciting. Yeah.
Nice.
Have you seen drawings of it? It's pretty cool. It has a living roof, correct? I believe, it's a living roof on top, and it really blends right in. That's what I like about Saddleback is you guys put the environment first, the town first, the people first. It's not just about getting people on the hill and getting money out of their pockets. It's about creating, something that's going to last for a long time.
Yeah, those aluminum cups, those recycled aluminum cups when we were there.
Oh, yeah.
Remember those?
Range is cutting edge.
Yeah, I have a stack in my office that I rotate my beverages in.
I mean, how many other skiers do you think have a collaboration with the Audubon Society? When you actually think about that, it's pretty amazing. Because the Appalachian Trail comes through up there, correct? The back side of the mountain?
It crosses our summit. Yep, the AT crosses the summit here and goes over to the Horn and continues on towards the Bigelows. So yeah, we're definitely, conscious of development in this environment because it really is a pristine environment. You look around, and I heard we had Snow Country here filming the other day, and she described being at Saddleback as like being in a Bob Ross painting. I was like, wow, that's a pretty good.
We've seen the Bob Ross trees.
Yeah. Lots of happy trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many happy trees. So I mean, yeah, it's definitely, we're very fortunate to have this as our playground. So we're keeping that in mind. But yeah, Mid-Mountain Lodge will be really exciting. We also have an employee housing project that's we'll break ground on in the spring. Yeah, so it's down at the lower part of the mountain, South Branch, and that is expected to have about 100 beds, which is really critical because if you talk to anyone in the ski industry, I mean, it's not really unique to the ski industry, but the labor shortage and labor problems are definitely real. So especially in this area, it's harder for people to find housing. So we're trying to kind of build this employee housing to directly address that issue for us. So it'll be ski in, ski out, actually, which is really cool.
Really?
I'm going back to being a ski bum. I'm trying to think of any skiers in the East. I know out West, a lot of them have it. And it's legendary. But any in the East do you know of that offer employee housing? Ski areas? I can't think of any. I know I lived in employee housing in Steamboat. It was the time of my life.
Sorry, Ryan.
They had...
Yeah.
Yeah.
They call it the ghetto in the meadow. I mean, there was 6 of us in this little place. It was so awesome. And what was
ghetto in the meadow.
What was the one at Jackson Hole? They had the that old hotel. There was one right over there by the Moose that
they had employee housing there.
Well, it was like that. It was like that old hostel. Remember that place?
No.
There's and then there's the one in is it Alter? There's one up there that's pretty legendary.
Yeah. Yeah, Colorado I feel like has more than anyone, but I know it's something that all the resorts are currently battling is the housing shortage and affordable housing shortage, which is the big thing as Airbnb has taken off. So I just saw a thing that Carrabassett Valley is actually working on a plan for affordable housing for employees because they can't get any staff.
Yeah, it's really the only way you can really do it.
Yep. So good on Saddleback.
Yeah, this is a big project. Like I said, about 100 beds. And it'll be year-round housing too. So anyone who works here, not just this. Yeah, I mean, we obviously have a surge of people here in the winter, so we have staff to accommodate that. But this will also help hopefully serve businesses in the Rangeley area too, like the restaurants and bars and things that where they need help just as much as we do year round. So yeah, it's exciting. We're hoping to break ground this spring, and yeah, there'll be more info to come, but lots of cool stuff going on. Also in development, kind of have some new developments on our mountain biking that will be happening this summer. So we have existing mountain bike trails in the lower portion of the mountain. And this coming summer, we are purchasing the equipment to have lift service mountain biking. So you'll be able to ride the South Branch lift, which is our beginner lift, beginner quad, and actually attach your bike and ride the lift with your bike and lap the trails. So yeah, we're bringing mountain biking into the scene here too, because it's already big in this area. So.
And those aren't your old school, just little dirt trails. Those are the ones with banks and log jumps and stuff like that. Like, I would hurt myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we missed that one. Gotta love lift service gravity sports.
That'll be huge. There's been a big need for that. I know Sunday River is the only one that does it right now, and downhill mountain biking is huge. So.
And that's another great thing.
Yeah, you have Mount Abram. I think they have a pretty consistent operation, but yeah, we just feel like it's something that there's a lot of people here locally already doing it, so why not give them an even bigger playground to do that, and it'll hopefully draw some people from away as well.
That's one thing about Rangers that sticks out to me, is that at the year round there's always something. Every season it seems like there's something going on. Like it's known for fly fishing, like I don't know, this trail's named after flies or fishermen or something like that.
Yeah, we have like an angler theme here where
the woolly booger.
The lifts are actually the woolly bugger.
Woolly bugger.
Or booger if you're my 10-year-old son.
Woolly booger. The lifts are actually named after rivers and lakes. Mm-hmm. So like you have Rangeley, obviously Rangeley Lake, Cup Septic T-Bar, Cup Septic Lake, and then the trails are all like fly ties. So you've got gray ghost, which is like a really famous fly. Yeah, it's cool. Google it, because it's really like pretty neat. I've spent some time looking at all the different flies. I'm not a fisher woman myself.
Fisher person.
My dad is fisher person, but my dad is, and it's yeah. So that's the theme that we have. We've got the trout train too, for ski school. That's like our
nice.
Transportation.
And ski races.
I'll do that.
yeah, ski school and getting the racers and their fan squad up the hill. Surprised you didn't come for a trout train ride, Chase.
Oh, I would have today, but we were filming, so I had to miss this one.
You got a lot of skiing this year, don't you? You've been all over the place.
A lot of race watching.
He's like the ski coach chaperone.
Yeah, the bus driver. Now do you have snow biking, fat tire biking? Cross country, snowshoeing, right? You've got a great cross country Nordic area set up.
Yeah, so the right on our access road is the Rangeley Lake Trail Center. So they're a nonprofit. They're an independent operation.
Oh, okay.
They're not like under Saddleback, but they're right there. And yeah, their cross country trails are amazing. They're a great organization. It's really affordable to go use their trails and to rent equipment. So yeah, we have all that literally right down the road. We have our own uphill path, which is really, really interesting, because it was something that we developed last season, and it's been seeing a lot of use and a lot of people new to uphill trying it out. But yeah, it starts at the base area, winds outside of Hudson Highway and up, and it goes all the way to the summit. So if you have touring gear, so if you have like skins for your skis, or if you are snowboarder, you have a split board, that's a dedicated uphill route, it's a cool way to experience Saddleback if you're new to it.
Sure.
It winds through the woods, not on all the marked trails, but it's it's really cool. I did it a few times last season. I actually haven't done it yet this year, but that's what I'm hoping the spring days are for, when it's nice. You can be out there in a t-shirt.
How long does it take you, roughly, the average person?
Yeah, probably about an hour and a half to the summit. The trail crosses right by where the Rangeley lift comes out. So you could, if you didn't want to summit, you could, just go that far, and that would probably take you less. But yeah, I'd say an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on how, if you're really hoofing it or not.
I'm always having a great run, feeling good about myself, and I see someone hiking up the hill, and I'm like, I'm so lazy.
Show off.
Right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's a big thing now. Like all the skiers are dealing with that. Yeah. It's great. Diversified.
Yeah.
What's your favorite trail on the mountain?
Oh, that's a good question. I am partial to, depends on the weather. Obviously if it's snowy and powdery, you catch me in the trees. So Thrombosis is one of my favorite glades. It's right like mid-mountain.
Yeah.
So it holds the snow really well. And then if I want to just rip a groomer, Silver Doctor. I think I took you and Jen there, actually. I took you on a long run from America down to Silver Doctor, I think, last time. Yeah.
I think I know Chase's. Chase the Mule Skinner, right?
Mule Skinner.
And that's a famous trail that you guys kind of have. That's quite an adventure going
Mule
over there.
Skinner.
Yeah.
You got to hike over
It is.
15, 20 minutes, and it's all natural. And
Yeah. You never know what the conditions are going to be, but it's fun.
I like that one. And it's at Tight Line, the one that's like going towards Mule Skinner straight down.
Yes.
And that's Chase's.
Yeah, Tightline.
Son Fletcher loves that.
Vertical drop on the mountain.
It's the real
That's
deal.
a fast one.
Fast and steep. Well, any special events coming up?
Tightline, you look over the edge and you're like,
yeah.
this is steep.
I was sitting there with my nephew last year. And
If you don't like heights, don't go to Tightline.
Fletcher drops right in at like 9 years old. These people are just like, I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see little kids like sending it. They're like, oh yeah, we got this, and they're just it's awesome.
Fearless.
Did you just ask about events?
Yeah, I heard there might be some really cool special events coming up in March. I heard a rumor or two. I didn't know if you knew anything about that or anything else.
Let me think. I don't know. Who would that be?
So, what is it, Jen?
Yeah, we've got what?
Go for it, Molly.
Well, we have our friends, the Maine Cabin Masters, coming over. It's Sunday the 13th. You guys will be here all day at the mountain, and we're doing a Baxter tap takeover, I believe, too, in the pub, some après with Baxter. So that's looking to be quite an afternoon.
Yes, we want everyone to come up and go skiing with us.
Yes. Come ski with us.
Yes.
Or at least drink with us and spend your money in the bar.
Yeah. Take a photo with us.
Yeah. We'll be doing photos on
ski the
top of the
bar.
new lift. Mule Skinner
Top of
photo.
Tightline.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, top of Tight Line. But yeah, so we'll be up there the 13th. I know we're going to come up on our employee ski day. We had a great time last year in the fall, in late spring. What else?
Maybe we should organize like a group run. Like meet us at the top of Kennebago at this time, and you can ski with the Maine Cabin Masters.
We call that a party. We call that a party lap.
There we go.
Party lap. I'm into that.
Schedule
Party
it.
lap.
Let's book it, Molly.
Right to the Baxter
right.
tap takeover.
Yep. Before or
Probably
after?
have to do a trail. Probably Grey Ghost. I mean, it's nice and wide.
First one to the bar, drinks
Yeah.
for free.
Get everybody to wear their Maine Cabin
right,
Master
right.
T-shirts. It'll be great.
We're going to promote
We've
responsible
also
drinking.
got in April we've got our closing, not our closing weekend, but we're not necessarily sure the specific closing date yet, but towards the end of the season, on Saturday, April 9th, we're bringing back Spring Bash. We had Spring Bash last year, and it was awesome. I think a bunch of you guys were there, actually.
Mallet Brothers, right?
Yeah, we had the Mallet Brothers last year. We're looking at, we haven't officially booked it yet, but we're looking at Motor Booty up there,
Nice.
potentially.
Woo. Bring your bell bottoms.
Yeah. So we're going to get funky. It's going to be fun. We'll have a pond skim. We'll have a rail jam that weekend in the train park. We do the cardboard box race for the kids. yeah, and a band, and just hopefully a beautiful spring day like we had last year. It was awesome.
It was amazing.
I was out in my t-shirt for sure. Yeah, getting the goggles tan. So, yeah, Saturday, April 9th, that'll be an awesome weekend. More info to come on that for sure.
And it's all on your.
Oh, sorry.
It's on your website and all the social media accounts. You guys you've done a great job with social media this year. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, thank you.
Molly, you guys are doing a lot more summer stuff too, right? A lot more weddings and that kind of thing this year.
Yes, we have a few weddings already on the books, but we're definitely booking more. We're hoping to do more summer concert series too. We'll line some more outdoor concerts up. Last summer we did some beer dinners in the pub, and some guided hikes. Also guided bike tours too, the mountain bike tours. So that'll be something if you're brand new to mountain biking and you want to come and rent a bike and get a lesson from our team. We'll have that too right here at the mountain. So yeah, just as you guys know, because and love Rangeley, it's just the fun never ends up here. It's, even mud season, we have stuff to do. So
Not many places can say that.
It's true.
yeah. So we're really looking to be and become a 4-season destination and resort. So definitely growing our summer offerings as well.
Nice. All right. Do we have some fan questions?
We do have some fan questions. All right. So Drew Chase would like to know, how does skiing in Maine compare with skiing around the rest of the country?
If you can ski in Maine, you can ski anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great question, and yeah, that's very true. They say if you can ski the East, you can ski anywhere, because we've been spoiled this winter with lots of snow, but every now and then we get those. Seems to be more and more lately, some of the more bare winters. So yeah, if you can ski like our hard packed surface, you can ski I think pretty well anywhere.
Although skiing powder is, I think, way more tiring and tough than skiing on ice sometimes.
Yeah.
You can just fly if your edges are sharp, but you start getting into powder and you're not ready for it.
Sweating.
It's exhausting.
But if you
Yeah.
I think Eastern skiers are definitely tougher.
Sure.
It's definitely colder, and the ice,
yeah.
It's you learn the hard way here.
We're a hardy bunch here.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine growing up skiing out west and moving to Maine to ski.
Right.
I don't think they do that.
I do agree with you though, Chase. I remember my first real powder experience. I went out to visit friends in Whitefish, Montana, and they got 3 feet of snow in the 3 days that we were there. It was just absolutely dumping. And I consider myself a pretty good skier, been doing it all my life, but I was on the wrong ski. I was on these skinny skis.
Yeah.
190.
And I was getting buried. I just kept getting stuck, and I was my legs are so tired, and
yeah, it's a whole different style, and
yeah,
it's fun, but it's a lot of work.
First time I went out west, we were at Tahoe, some friends, and we're out there at 8 a.m., because in the east you go out early, get rumors. No one, is this place even open? No one's even there till 11. By the third day, we realized out west you let it warm up in the spring, soften up. Then it was crazy from 11 to 5 p.m. And by then we were tired. Took me a little while to get it, but.
All right, we have another question by Sue Swanson. I'd like to learn how to ski. Is Saddleback a good place for beginners?
It's where I learned to ski.
Did you?
Yep. So yes, it is a good place.
Definitely our beginner. What's cool about our mountain is if you look at our trail map, you can see that the terrain is very much segmented by difficulty level. So everything from the base lodge down is our South Branch area, and it's pretty much all green terrain, and it doesn't intersect with upper level terrains. You don't have any of those hairy cross cuts where there's a bunch of skiers and riders converging on a beginner trail. So you definitely, there's definitely a safe and chill like area where you can learn if you are new to the sport. And we have the moving carpet this year, so if you've never been on a lift, the carpet can get you up the slope enough to start to learn the fundamentals. Our ski school team is great too. I will say that I'm, personal friends with the ladies who run it, and they're just like awesome people. Like they just really love to see people learning and just want to see more people get into the sport. So definitely not an intimidating experience here is from my perspective. Yeah. So
the magic carpet's in a tube, in a clear bubble almost, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's covered.
Yeah, it's pretty slick.
So for those cold days.
Right.
Yeah, for those cold days.
They want you to like it, which is smart.
It is.
I mean, I definitely encourage, no matter what age, to try it because it's a great, winter hobby and gets you out, and winter goes by a lot faster if you like to ski or be outside.
Yes. Now, have you ever seen?
Agree.
I think they have one up in Quebec. Those cross-country skate trails, where the whole thing is ice for miles, and you just skate, do a tour on ice skates.
I have seen that. It's pretty cool.
That would be fun.
Maybe you guys should be the first one.
That sounds cool.
Designed by Chase Morrill, Maine Cabin Masters. I see a collaboration.
We'll take our little groomer out. A little Zamboni on wheels.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Just some off-road speed skating.
Right, yeah.
That's it.
Doesn't sound dangerous at all.
We'll start on flat surfaces.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that was great.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. It's always good to see you. Can't wait till you're back at the mountain.
Yeah, you'll see us sooner than later for sure.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you for joining us, Molly. And yeah, we'll see you on the slopes.
See you, Molly.
Sounds good.
Bye, Molly.
See you out there. Thanks, guys.
All right, and we are back with Project Pointers. Project Pointers are brought to us by our friends at Benjamin Moore, the official paint and stain supplier of the Kennebec Cabin Company. If you've got a project you're working on, need a little help or advice, or just talk it over with somebody, send us an email at podcast@mainecabinmasters.com. As much detail and photos as possible will help, and we'll try and guide you the right way. No promises, but we'll see what we can do.
I'm looking at that, and I'm...
Wait, that's the video?
God.
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was like the screensaver.
No.
I'm not liking
this
that.
is by Cindy Richardson, who apparently you met this summer.
It's not poison ivy. I know that.
I know, but that's all I can think of when I look at that.
I know. Do I just press?
Hit the space bar, I think.
Hi, Chase and Ryan. It's Cindy Richardson here from Glen Rock, Pennsylvania. I met both of you at the fan event this summer at the Woodshed. And one of the things I asked Chase was how do you get rid of a black walnut tree naturally? It's been cut back as far as they would go because the fuel line has grown, or the tree has grown over the fuel line. Ooh. So we cut it back, and Chase and I talked about using copper nails, which I did, and it grew back.
Oh,
How'd
no.
that?
I put about 10 copper nails into it, and as you can see, all the
It's
growth
thriving.
has come right back. And the reason that I can't use poison on this is because over there's the well, and we're about 200 feet from the well, I guess. So any other suggestions would be greatly appreciated. Let me know what you think. Good talking to you.
Well, first question, is that a yard right now, all green and stuff? Or is this a stock video?
No, it must be, right?
I had to go down a little ways in the emails to find out, so it could have been submitted this fall.
That's a black walnut tree, huh?
I guess so.
However, I really laughed when I saw that video.
That is awesome. They obviously thrive on copper.
Yeah.
I've dealt with that before, though. You have an underground line or something, and, over time a tree gets bigger. A lot of times you'll have to, grind the stump down. But a tree will die, but that thing is not.
Well, yeah, some plants, you cut it down. Some trees, you cut it down, it's dead. Then you just have to deal with the stump. Other ones, they just start sending shoots up, or they'll, like sumac, it'll branch out, send them up other places.
That kind of looked like sumac.
It did.
See, I expected a black walnut tree to be like more like a tree in tree form, like with a trunk and roots and like.
Yeah, maybe that's what I thought. So what it is she probably cut down a decent sized trunk, and it's just sending up all sorts of sucker shoots, right? Saplings, and just.
Because that's the worst. So you cut down, like, you're clearing like a little lot. You get it down to a stump, and then like 6 months later, you have all these little trees growing up. Like,
Yeah.
You got to go back down,
yeah.
cut them again, or pull the stumps out.
And she doesn't want to use a poison, which is good.
Goat.
Goat,
You get a pet goat and just keep it there.
right?
Would a pig root it up? Borrow a neighbor's pig.
I've always heard that that's a way to get rid of stumps is you bury corn cobs down around a stump, and a pig will root down in and dig it up enough to at least start rotting out the roots. But
Really?
if you have something that you don't want there, if there's a fuel line that you don't want to, I wouldn't necessarily. What else could you do? Put a tarp over it, right?
Deprive it of sunlight.
Smother it.
I want to say, isn't there like something you can put over it?
Piece of old carpet.
No, like a paint or something that would.
They, paint every tip though. Like that'd be a lot. Get out the marker. I have seen them do that before. I don't know. I'd say a goat. Or actually, I'd just chance it. The poison doesn't get in the well.
Or you could find out
Just
what
kidding,
type.
take it.
Well, so there's a couple black walnuts at my mother's place, old, big ones. You could find out what type of soil those thrive in, whether it's acidic or really basic soil, and lay down. If it's a plant that loves rich nutrients, then you would deprive it of that. Put something like lime down or something, ash or something that would really, isn't bad for the environment but would starve it of nutrients.
Battle it with science.
Right. Or if it's something that likes, like lilacs like soil to be not very low in nutrients. So you could kill it with over fertilizing it, something like that.
I bet you could reach out to like a local arborist. They might have like a trick, or local college or something.
Yeah. Or try wax, right?
Does wax work?
Try it. Try
See
some
what?
beeswax. Melt it down, just
Really?
brush it on the areas, and
I wonder if you did. You know how you can do like a natural weed killer with vinegar and I don't know what else. There's some other stuff. You just dump a ton of vinegar on it.
Yeah, it's like vinegar, one part Dawn, and something else.
Yeah, and something else. I can't remember though.
but that same,
Yeah.
that's super acidic. So find out what the tree likes
Yeah.
and give it the opposite.
Yeah, there is a natural one, but a tree's tough. Like I've seen it take down like a dandelion, but
But yeah, I didn't realize black walnuts were that hardy.
yeah, that thing was thriving. That was the best thing about this. Chase had put some nails to it. And,
Oh, keep the nails going. I don't know.
yeah, good luck on
Or
that.
a full sheet of copper laid over the whole thing.
But if you had a neighbor with a goat would get in there and eat it all.
The goat's a good idea.
But they'll eat everything else too. Be careful.
She may have stumped us.
Okay. Our next one is from Chris F. Oh, this is a long one because I thought Maggie was going to be reading it. A year ago, I bought a camp in Maine. It's just over a half acre with 600 square feet mobile home that was built in 1960 on it. At some point, a peaked metal roof was added over the trailer. Since then, I found out that it was an illegal lot. The trailer was moved there after the town set a minimum lot size of 1 acre. I worked with the town, and for now they designated the lot as a personal campsite, which allows the current trailer to stay. Problem is that I can't replace it with anything other than a true camper, RV, or camp trailer. I can try to acquire enough land to make it a full acre. I can rebuild the current trailer. My question is this. Do you guys know how much of the trailer can I rebuild before it's considered a new structure? Can I strip it to the chassis, or do I have to leave the exterior walls? The downside of rebuilding the trailer is that my insurance company would never recognize the value as anything more than a 1960 mobile home, but it may be cheaper than trying to acquire another half acre.
He's got himself a conundrum.
Yeah. I hesitate to even make any recommendations on this one. But if I were to,
Nice hesitation. It's about a half a second.
I mean, typically we deal a lot of regulations where if you put more than 50% of the value of the structure into renovations, you need to bring it up to code as much as possible. So that may be the case.
Yeah, it kind of loses its grandfather status if you do that.
Right. So that may be the case with that as well. This is something to look into, but definitely consult with the town and your local ordinances.
Yeah, it's like if I see in a forest with like tons of land around, like where Farmer Smith might like let go half an acre, but you also read all these other things like tricks people do, like put wheels on something.
Yep.
I saw one thing where a guy couldn't have a deck, so he put like a deck on a trailer and like backed it up to his house.
Sure. Yeah, and a lot of times too, I mean, it's all about interpretation. A lot of times, or sometimes we'll run into where if the deck becomes attached to the structure, then it's part of the structure. Whereas if it's not attached at all, it's a freestanding, and they consider it almost like a shed or something in place, which is allowable. So you just have to get creative
But do some research, because one thing I've learned in going to towns and planning boards and all this stuff is they don't tell you how to get from point A to point B. You have to do the work and figure it out yourself. You know, so just do the research. You might find something that's going to help you out. You might learn of a law or a rule, or at least find out which way to go financially, because it is tough. You put all that money into that, and it's still considered a mobile home.
Right. Or maybe look into down the tiny house route. Because those are specifically on axles because they're mobile and they don't fall into the same category. Well, they're starting to change that a little bit, but that might be a route that's possible as well.
I wonder how real estate transactions like that work. Like, somewhere down the line, someone pulled something.
Right.
I wonder if there should be a process where everything gets reviewed. Because, I've heard about people buying a lot and they come to find out, couldn't get a soil test on it. Or,
Yeah.
That's why you need a good real estate agent.
That is true.
We know where you can find one.
Yeah.
Our buddies out in Belgrade, Lake Point. But, yeah, do some research. Talk to your town, talk to the code enforcement officer, and talk to your neighbors.
Yeah. Good luck.
All right. Joe would like to know, I'm planning on replacing crumbling poured-in-place concrete posts supporting our porch with 18-inch diameter, 6-inch thick precast concrete pads. I've noticed on your projects you put rigid foam insulation and crushed stone under these pads. I could not find anything about this online, so could you provide specifics as to types of thickness of insulation and type and depth of stone?
The reason he couldn't find it is because it's a patented cabin master process.
Well, I'm going to start the same thing. Check your local ordinances first. Make sure. I know some towns, it all depends on where you are and what you've got for the rest of your structure. If it's attached, did they say if it was a deck or not?
Supporting our porch.
Yeah. If you've got a full foundation, and you're re-supporting the porch, you might want to think about going below the frost line so that it doesn't shift when the house isn't going to. If the camp or if the main structure is on posts, you want to try and match what's there as much as possible so that it all moves together. That being said, typically it depends on your soil, whether it's a wet area, clay area, how much frost gets into the ground, how much moisture is in the ground, and then typically we'll do the pucks are what, 18 inches. So we'll cut a piece of foam, 2 by 2.
Yeah. And a bed of crushed gravel. And
yeah.
I've seen them not move for years and years. Or you can get a spot, like every place is different. That's the hardest thing. But the great thing about those, if they do move, you can always adjust them.
Right. And it's all about getting a good compact base that's going to, that's why we put the crushed stone down, is to get a good compact base where the water will drain away so that it's not going to cause the frost.
Yeah, water's your biggest enemy.
Yep. And Jedi's a big fan, I think, of cutting around the circle, doing an exact footprint. Yep. It really kind of depends on your area.
I'm a big proponent of them.
Yep.
They're great. Like, they're cost effective, and they can, especially they can make it through the Maine climate. They can make it through anywhere.
Yes.
Great answer.
Thanks, Maggie.
Yeah,
All
who was
right,
over
that's
there?
all of our project pointers for today.
That was a great project pointer session this time.
Yeah.
We hadn't had a video in a while.
I know. Keep them coming. Podcast at mainecabinmasters.com.
Please send photos. Please.
And yeah, check back in another season about your walnut tree.
Can't wait to hear about that. I'm sure we'll
Add
see
some more copper nails.
I know. I'm sure.
We'll see Cynthia
I'm sure
this
we'll hear
summer.
about it. All right. Do we have any
That is
fan
funny.
questions?
We sure do, Chase.
All right.
So we're going to answer this first question because we haven't done it at all this year.
If it's about refrigerator doors.
It's not about the refrigerator door, but maybe we should just go ahead and answer that one again, too. Lonnie Brown would like to know, how can you do what you do on a camp for such small amount of money and still get a salary and pay your workers?
Magic.
The budget question.
The budget. So the budget
Where you wanna start?
The budget you see on TV is what the camp owner puts into the project.
Their financial commitment.
Yes. And we try and stick to that budget as best as possible. There's always some incentive from the production side of things. There's companies that want to work with us for discounted products.
And we get paid an appearance fee, and the company, Kennebec Property Services, that all the construction goes through, breaks even if we're lucky.
Yep.
And what we do is we pass on what we pay for goods and services is what the customer pays. We pay a guy $25 an hour plus $4 for this and $6 for that. That's what the customer pays. And for materials, same thing. That's huge.
It is.
You know,
But what's different about this is we come up with a budget at the very beginning with the camp owners and then try and get there, get as much as the camp owners want done as possible within that budget. So there's different levels of construction, carpentry, from fine home building to basic framing. So we kind of figure out what's going to work within that budget. And truly, we save a lot by not having the homeowners there telling us exactly what they want or asking them exactly what they want.
and not changing stuff. Like, one and done.
They give us the freedom and the trust to go in and get what they want done as best as possible so that it works with the building.
And like starting out, we reused so much stuff and we recycled so much stuff. And as we've grown, our buying power has gotten bigger. Like all the local goods places, like lumber yards, notice scratch and dent will take seconds. We take
Misordered
discontinued
windows.
anything, and
Yep.
but that goes from Hammond Lumber to the appliance places to the paint shops. Like everywhere knows, like we will go through and dig through your old stuff, stuff that nobody wants.
Yep.
Because the homeowner's not involved, we can use it.
It's still good. We still use quality materials. It's just not necessarily the quality materials that somebody would go in and pick out on their own, I guess.
Because everyone wants the newest, fanciest stuff.
Right.
We use that, and it looks great. But like you wouldn't get to that conclusion before, like without the homeowner
And the
involved.
amount of eastern white pine we use is
Throw it at it.
Yeah, it's we are fortunate to be in a heavily forested state with lots of local sawmills. That helps with the budget. We just buy flats of the stuff, and again, all these cost saving methods add up.
And it truly is camp. Like
Yes.
we don't go back to the Mitre Saw 10 times. Like it looks great, as a big picture. But if someone that did a fine carpentry came and looked closer, they might not like some things they see. but it's camp.
Yes.
And we're all about stretching that money and making the biggest impact we can.
Correct.
Sometimes I often think about the same project, whether it had a $30,000, $50,000, or $70,000 budget. We could do the same project in those different budgets, but
Oh, yeah.
it depends on do we face nail?
Right.
Are we using just shiplap? Or are we using nice tongue and groove?
Yep. Camp grade number 4. And like the Lefebvre is a perfect example. Like that old place was rotting into the ground. We tore off the old roof, which there wasn't much to it. We used 4x8 beams as our rafters, decked that over, screw down roof. We got it up out of the ground, replaced rotted sills. We did a lot, but we left these as much siding as we could. We didn't
Patch it right in.
We just painted the interior. We didn't close in any walls in there, and just patched in the floor and put a new pine floor on top of it. Really, just get it back to working order.
It all adds up.
Yes,
Big time.
All right. Stephen Munkin would like to know, how do you keep the wood-boring bees out of the pine?
Wood-boring beetles or bees?
It says bees. Do we have wood-boring bees?
Sounds pretty.
No.
I'm surprised we don't lately. Ticks and the rashy caterpillars and
Yeah.
all that. I think
That's actually one of the reasons I selected this, because I'd never heard of a wood-boring bee before.
We do have wood-boring beetles and grubs.
Yep.
So a lot of times, like, you'll go to Hammond Lumber and see their log yard, and they're spraying water on it in the summertime. Well, that's kind of for great blue stain too. But if you leave logs freshly cut on, like pine logs, on the ground for
A couple days.
the beetles will get right into it and just start. I mean, you can hear them chewing at it.
I always wonder why they were wetting those piles down.
Yeah.
But that's more for the beetles and for blue stain.
What's
So-
blue stain?
It's like when the wood gets that bluish, grayish
Oh, yeah.
shade to it, streaks of it through the wood.
I thought it was so it didn't dry too, like before it goes in the.
I mean, I think to keep the moisture level up
Multi-purpose.
yes.
But there's that. What else? There's the ash boring beetle too. That's
Yep.
a problem and stuff.
That's
But-
getting bad, isn't it? It's like the thing in
It
southern
is.
Maine.
But like Chase said, the bigger lumber companies, they don't waste anything. The stuff that does get that might go to chips and stuff. Like they're doing so much
Yep.
volume.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff goes to certain boards and graded like that.
So back to the bees. Anybody know about these bees?
I've never heard of bees.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I think he meant beetles.
Should we Google it?
I hope it doesn't
Do they
exist. One of those
exist?
big bees out west that are like that.
Oh,
The murder hornets?
Oh, murder hornets. Yeah.
Wood-boring bees.
Carpenter ants, they take a little bit longer to get established.
There's a carpenter bee.
Really?
Yeah.
In Maine.
That's how we deal with them. They're not here.
Great.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Move to Maine. You don't have that problem.
Like, we don't
Yeah.
have termites,
No.
but we do have carpenter ants.
But Home Depot has a whole article on how you can get rid of them. Google.
And the carpenter ants can get bad.
Yep.
Like, I mean, we've gone into places and it's just dust.
Yep.
Like, what is the other one? The powder
Powder post beetles.
beetles
Yep. There was a lot of that at headquarters when we first got going here.
and the escargot.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's
And we'd
right.
hit that and like,
That's right. And, dry rot.
Rot.
good old rot.
Okay. Lauren would like to know, I'm a retired contractor in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Over the years, I've done a lot of the same type of work you do. Do you ever have to deal with building inspectors? We actually get this question quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, certain areas.
Yeah. Depend. Like some areas are more intense than others, but because we're doing usually seasonal, the process is not as involved.
Right.
But there's always a plumbing inspector. We always have to get the plumbing pressure tested.
Yep. Some towns require framing inspections, foundation or footing inspections, insulation inspections. Some have electrical inspections. It all depends on the area, but typically that's more a southern Maine thing.
But once in a while, we get thrown a curveball,
Yes.
and you're like, oh my! So you always gotta, we run this. We get going so fast. You gotta slow down. Like, okay, do we get the permits for this? Like,
Yeah.
it's much better not to have to beg for forgiveness in that aspect.
It's true. It's true.
And it can vary so much from one town to the next.
Completely.
I mean, exact opposites.
Yep. Yeah, one town will allow spiral staircases. The one right beside it won't.
Yeah, do your homework.
There's towns that don't allow spiral staircases.
Yeah,
Yep.
not the code.
Interesting.
Yep. Or ship's ladders too. Like just, it's challenging.
I know of a beautiful town where none of that matters, but I'm not telling anybody. God love that place.
All right. Well, that's all our questions.
Perfect.
And once again, I failed at my timekeeping duties, so I have no idea where we're at.
We're cruising through life.
That's right. That's right. But yes, thank you for the questions. Yeah. Keep them coming. Podcast@maincabinmasters.com. And Now we're on to a few products we have in store. Some beautiful encaustic art by Helene Farrar.
These are so cool.
I believe Ashley did a field trip with her.
We have a encaustic Dougie. Encaustic Gussie.
And the Buccaneer downstairs.
Yep.
But these are winterscapes and fallscapes. It's old tradition. It's hot pigmented wax. And then she, puts a wax on. We actually have a chicken at our house, too. So.
Where did you think that came from? Like just
Egyptians.
lonely nights in a cold place with candles? Like, that's a 10-candle night. I'm going to do a Monet. It's pretty cool, the depth, though, and colors she gets. It's really amazing.
Yeah, and they're easily maintained. She said if they start getting dull or something, you just take a little, a little water on a rag, just wipe it down, buff it back out so it shines.
Oh, I never thought about that. It kind of freaked me out.
Yeah.
You don't bring a light in near it.
No, keep it away from direct flames or bright sunlight.
Don't put it near the wood stove.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine that.
That would be sad. But so we have these actual artwork in the store and some cards and prints as well. So I believe they're on the website as well. Check them out. They're beautiful. And she's local. She's right next door.
Downtown Worldwide.
Yep.
Manchester, Maine. Beautiful downtown.
She offers art classes as well. So.
And she's a great neighbor.
Yeah, if you're coming down to headquarters, check out her studio.
Helene from Maine.
Helene from Maine.
Yep. All right.
Speaking of Maine.
Speaking of Maine.
I think you knew this one,
Maine
didn't you?
trivia.
Do you remember what question it was?
Let me see.
I know which one I want it to be, but it's probably not that one.
Yep. Who was the first artist to... See, I would pick a different one. Interesting. Who was the first artist to receive the President John F. Kennedy's Freedom Medal?
One of the Wyeths.
I'd say one of the Wyeths.
NC?
I'm going to say Andrew. Probably Andrew.
I had nothing.
Oh, the mom. Oh, what? Andrew.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Another one for you, Chase.
Yeah.
Which famous cosmetic tycoon was hostess to many celebrities at her estate in Mount Vernon?
Estee Lauder.
And as a bonus question, what is this estate now?
Travis Mills Retreat.
Cool.
I don't think that.
ask this one, the mocha one.
Where does the Mocha hold their picnic? And Mocha stands for... It's not Mofka. Mocha.
Nope,
Maine.
Mocha, M-O-C-A, Mocha.
Where do they hold their picnic?
Yeah.
Maine Outdoor Canoe Association.
I know, but I saw the answer.
Old Town, Maine.
It's like a place,
Whoa.
not a town. It's like a spot in a town that just about every town has.
Gazebo.
Nope.
Mocha. In cemeteries, Mocha stands for the Maine Old Cemetery Association.
Mocha.
Mocha.
Mm-hmm.
I've never met anyone from Mocha, but if I did, I would judge them.
It's a weird association to join.
That's weird. Well, if you had the correct answer and it was the first into our podcast at mainecabinmasters.com, you're going to get a lovely gift.
Yep.
You knew it was a Wyeth. Had to have been.
Yes, right.
I just saw where Colby College bought the island, one of the islands they had.
Oh,
and they
nice.
endowed a bunch of it, and then Colby bought the rest of it.
Oh, very cool.
Where?
Off the coast of Port Clyde.
Oh,
Where a couple of the famous paintings are from.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Which one should we do? Okay. What Maine man was nominated as the presidential candidate of the Prohibition Party during the 1980 election?
1980?
Yeah.
Oh, we were around then. Barely.
Yeah, 1980.
What party?
Didn't we already have him as an answer?
I don't know. Did we?
I think so.
All right. I'll pick
No, that's all right. That's all right. I just gave a clue. If I'm right, I might not even be right.
I don't know.
But, yeah.
Well, no one's going to know for another week. How am I going to be able to sleep?
It's going to be more than that because we're about to take a 2-week break. Sorry, guys. We're about to take a 2-week break.
Oh, yeah. Chase going on vacation.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Well, we could have had Ashley come in again.
Well, maybe we won't take a 2-week break.
Oh, if I have
It'll be a surprise.
Oh, yeah.
You want to zoom in from Iceland?
That would be fun.
Possible.
No, you don't. You want to go on vacation with your family. You don't want to think about us.
I'll be sitting in a hot spring.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. All right.
We'll talk next week and see
And
if
I'll be
it's even
complaining about the
possible.
weather still.
Stay tuned. We may or may not have another podcast for 2 weeks.
Again, if you guys have the right answer to that question, please send it to podcast@mainecabinmasters.com. First correct answer will get a wonderful gift.
Yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thanks, Jen, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and we always want to thank our sponsors, Nelma, Hero Media Network, Hammond Lumber Company, Kennebec Savings Bank, and from the Woodshed, we'll be talking to you.
From the Woodshed has been brought to you by Nelma. See the stamp, trust the quality. Hammond Lumber, your building project partner. Kennebec Savings Bank, helping our local community save, thrive, and grow for over 150 years. And Hero Media Network, connecting small business with new customers. From the Woodshed is a production of Kennebec Cabin Company. See you next time.